Hello fans of Marvel heroes and friends of my channel, my name is Wilfred and I'm just back from my Australia holiday 2 weeks, so you haven't been seeing any videos from this channel lately, my apologies. But today I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we know of the Omega patch so far. I think one of you asked me while logging the game today, play a little bit of Cosmic Terminal, asked me what kind of changes are we having in PC. Well, the short answer is that there aren't any. There will be a patch sometimes in Thanksgiving, perhaps this year. There'll be like another way of change, but there'll be more coming along next year as well. So I'll talk a little bit about what to play for these days. And as per my tradition in this channel, I always like to share my holiday experience with some of you who may be interested in knowing my life, different from the games that I'm playing. So feel free to stay on. But however, if you say that I don't sign up for all these holiday trips, do feel free to jump at the part that's relevant at the description below. I've got time codes for you. All right, so now, first of all, let's talk about the holiday. We have been to Australia in the last 2 weeks. Sydney is where we landed. We've been to Blue Mountains as well as Wollongong. My wife and I have been to Australia a couple of times, but we found that Sydney is really the most friendly places we've been to. A very positive experience. In October, the weather is about 15 to 27 degrees Celsius. You have to calculate back to Fahrenheit. And I've got like a post below. Do feel free to click below on my Google Plus collection on all the photos I've taken in the New South Wales, Australia, using my new phone, Samsung Note 8. So do feel free to click there and follow the story from there onwards. But I pick up some photos to share with you here. Now, first of all, when we first landed in Sydney, of course, Opera House, because I've seen a lot of photos on that. But it is really beautiful. You can see Opera House in different kind of angles. And the one that you're seeing here below is where the eatery places is. We didn't eat there, but there's a lot of buzz going around. Parking is extremely expensive in Australia, in Sydney. In fact, we went to a CBD, I think cost about 29.30 Australian dollar for the first half an hour. Now that is probably about what, $25 for half an hour in Sydney, so it's quite a lot of money there. We also been to a coastal walk from the Bondi Beach to Bondi Beach, not bridge. It's a beautiful walk along the coast. It's just that the weather is so warm, we get a little bit like, I was a bit worried that we got a heat stroke, but beautiful picture there. We enjoyed a lot. Then after that, we also drove to a Clovelly Beach, which kind of like, very nice, quiet places. Not many people, tourists going there, but it is a nice kind of like, different kind of scenery to it. Now, Australia has a lot of different kind of sceneries. We've been to also the Blue Mountain, which is a lot of hiking there, a lot of rocks, and there's an Alcyon rock lookout from here. We can see the kind of like, very nice rock formation, and we could actually hike around the places and to see different kind of rock formation, such as the Three Sisters here in Blue Mountain. As you see there are three little rocks there. Australians love to name their rocks like the 12th Disciple. I think it's in Melbourne, I can't remember. Then you have the Three Sisters as well. You could actually do quite a bit of hiking in Blue Mountain, and we did that. It's like 900 to 1,000 steps going down, not counting the step that's on level kind of ground. We went to this Wentworth Fall trail, which is possibly the best trail that we have seen so far, but it's really hard to get there. At least from my perspective. I know a lot of you are very young and should be easy, but the waterfall is beautiful below. The water, just like multi-layer of water here. So that's very nice. There's also a Blue Mountain National Park as well. You can hike inside. I think I like it a lot. I think it's the second best after the Wentworth Fall of all the trails in Blue Mountain, and it's kind of like very like a shaded kind of like a jungle-ish kind of places, but it feels really safe. All in all, there aren't really a lot of like snakes, or I was a little bit worried about snakes in Australia. I went to this Airbnb. The first notice they've seen is that if you do not leave the door open, otherwise a snake may come into the house and so on. So I thought, yeah, That was quite interesting. We also went to Wollongong, which is somewhere south of Sydney. It's a very beautiful kind of place. There's a blowhole there. Kiama Lighthouse is where the blowhole is. We managed to see the blowholes that happen. I think it didn't happen that often, but when it did, it was a really huge sound, and then there's a whole jet of water coming from the ground. So I took a picture with a DSLR, but this picture is taken using my my Samsung Note 8. Also, there's where you see the stand there is you can see whale sighting as well. We managed to see some whales, but it was really too far away to take any good photo. But what experience was fantastic. You can see a tail of the whales that flip and so on. Then we've been to a Royal National Park. We are near the Wollongong. We see a big lizard being chased after by the ducks, which I thought was rather interesting. There are plenty of beaches there, like the Watamola beach, which I went there. I kind of climbed through some of these yellow rocks to get in to take a look at that. But it's really worth it. It's beautiful. I've been to another beach called the Gary Beach, which is somewhere between the Sydney and Wollongong as well. Also very charming place. Not many people around. You see there a lot of big waves though, so I think surfers love that. And the last day we went back to Sydney, and I went back to Bondi Beach. Just take a slow walk, eat some of the healthy food and so on. Okay, so that is really all of my Australian trip. So I hope you kind of like it, and do check out the link. Like I said before, below I've collected all my picture taken during the holiday using my handphone, but I'll publish my photos using the DSLR camera. It takes a while to process it. All right. Okay, now back to Marvel Heroes, and Civil War event was something that's being requested, because some people saying that, well, there aren't really a lot of things to do from now till the Omega patch, because there's really nothing to do. Whatever gear that you collect is irrelevant. I will go through some of the detail later. So gear farming doesn't really make sense. You could farm for Infinity Point, but you may as well farm it during after the Omega patch plus other patches, because you're going to farm all these items anyway. I mean, we are not even getting the Omega Prestige by this Thanksgiving, right? So to do Omega Prestige, you need the Omega Essence, and to have the Omega Essence, you need the kind of patch to come in that we don't have. So all in all, even after Thanksgiving, you could start collecting Omega gear, but you have to farm all this essence again. Just saying. So there aren't really a lot of things to go for, but there are. I mean, I think for those who like to craft costume, you could still continue to do prestige and try to get the costume to craft. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit. So now, because the Civil War events being requested, and they said, yeah, we'll do it for you. However, they are not, they couldn't put in time, so they try to make good with that promise. So they try to compensate a little bit with the gift. So if you log in between now and 26th of October this year, 2017, you'll get Captain America Civil War Team Up, Iron Man Civil War Team Up. By the way, this PC, of course. You've got the Team Captain America Mysterious Box, and also Team Iron Man Mystery Box, and also you've got some XP bonus here and there. Cosmic Chaos is on, so everything double job and so on. I try to play a little bit to see what happened, but the loot is still very terrible, horrible. I try to see whether I'll enjoy collecting Cosmic Gear or not. The answer is no. Then also the Big 10 cash loot boxes, which I managed to get one. Again, junks inside mostly. So that is all about it. This Civil War event is being delayed, and if you log in now, you got a free team up. I have got the Iron Man already, so I got the Captain America team up free, so it's kind of nice. I mean, no complaint, but I already have one Captain America team up anyway, so whatever this one is just a different skin to it. All right, now next bit is really talking about what we know so far from the Omega patch. Now, just to put things in perspective, the Gazillion doesn't really have an official post on what is going to change, nor do they do anything to prepare us for that matter. So my speculation is, and a lot of banning in the forum right now. I'm really scared going to the forum. If I say something emotional, I may get banned there. a lot of things going on here. So I shall say that you know, the Omega patch is there's a person called Frostarkus in the forum, which thanks to him or her, we have managed to get a consolidated list of like changes in this Omega patch, and I'd like to share that with you. Also my thought as well, not just reading off information here. So it's very nice the community helped consolidate a list of Omega confirmed changes for Omega patch, but then the fact that Gazillion doesn't even have an official post led me to speculate that they're not even sure what is happening in this patch. They're just making up along the way, perhaps listening to feedback and so on. So I don't know. I mean, usually, by the way, there's a cosmic artifact there. So I sort of like, I'm not quite sure whether we'll get all that we have hoped for in the Omega patch. I think the short answer is no, because first of all, they are not like, you know, having official note, and test center should be up. I will expect it to run for at least 2 to 3 weeks, if not a month, to make sure that everything gels back nicely. But lastly, even the Omega Prestige would not be in. It will be sometime in 2018. So whatever you've got here, still not what the console is having, and console is still moving ahead with the development. So we are still behind in some sense, and I would just, if I want to play seriously on one game, I would just wait for things to get developed first before going into it. But that's my thought. Okay, now Spider-Woman, 6-month PC exclusive release. Really not a big deal, to be honest, because it's just a hero. You know, console is getting new heroes every month or so. I think they just get low-key. I've got spammed by their email. They say, you know, that I don't even play console. Interesting. So the Spider-Woman is confirmed to be out this Omega patch. So I think it's kind of nice to take a new heroes going through the new experience, to collect Omega gear, try to go through the Cosmic Trial, then the Omega Trial, and so on. But I think what is just sad is just that it's not ready. It's still, things are still cooking up along the way. So Spider-Woman, for those fan of yours who like Spider-Woman, there you go. Or Omega Trial, which I mentioned just briefly just now. I'm never a big fan of all this like gatekeeper here and there, because the trial itself is not as fun as, say, Path of Exiles, a lab that people can run it for profit, you know, for things that, you know, to matter. But you know, whatever. We have an Omega Trial. With that, you can unlock the Omega difficulties. You can set difficulties yourself. There will be a new reality of gear. I think I've covered that in my Omega post earlier on what the gear are like. I mean, I've been trying to collect cosmic gear right now in this terminal. I don't think I really like the feel of having to read all these random affixes and try to use my head to understand, is it better, is it not, kind of thing. Because the game doesn't really help you a lot in terms of gear comparison on random gear. Unique is fine, because unique is fixed affixes. You know that the range is fine, then you know it's a good items. But unlike, you know, unlike say Diablo 3, whereby they can consolidate a few of these key indicators to see whether the gear is better or not, in what sense, this game doesn't have it. Nor do they have like Path of Exile, whereby you mouse over and you know what kind of gear it is it good to pick up or not. It doesn't have it, so you have to end up picking up everything. By the way, that's my big cash loot box. You may end up having to pick up everything, and then after that open up, you know, compare gear one by one, and still not getting anything. So it's just one of those things. Apocalypse terminal will be out in the Omega patch, but from what I heard, it's not that exciting, the terminal, so I do not know. I'm keen to take a look at what the terminal is, but I guess it'll be like Bugle. At the end of the day, I think the content is, you know, it's alright to have like new terminal here and there, but the reward is not there. I played like half an hour. I really thoroughly didn't get anything. Like, I didn't really feel kind of like excited or enticed to keep going. I mean, even Diablo 3, my Necromancer is doing Greater Rift 85 before I went for holiday. Even when I play, I don't really get a lot of loot that is relevant for me, but I still get, you know, progresses like my Paragon level keep going up. I can get gems, I can get, like, you know, upgrade my gear with the flat affixes and so on and so forth, that you keep improving even when the loot doesn't drop for you. But this game just don't have that kind of depth to it. Costume corsets, you've heard about it in my last video as well. There will not be any costume as a physical items that you collect. Rather than that, you just, like, you know, everything go in the corset. So I think a lot of confusion going on here on what to do during that kind of like you know, before the patch and so on. Some people are going into very extreme kind of like method to see how many costumes, how many times you should prestige and so on. My take is this. I think the new patch is not going to give you a lot of advantage over what you can do today in terms of costume crafting. Why? Because whenever you have 3 items of duplicate or whatever, they will just throw in the blender for you immediately. So that doesn't really change anything. The only advantage I can see is that if you have odd ones out, like 2 duplicated costume of any heroes or 1 duplicated costume, then at least they give you another box free. But the good thing about doing it now is that if you don't craft the costume that you like, you can still put it back to Blender and say, can I do it another round? And also, I think all the default costume right now, I'll just throw in the Blender because there's no point collecting. I'll just wait until the last moment that they are not changing their mind on this one. Then I'll blend all my default costume into the Blender. So in short, do it now rather than later will be my advice to you. All right. Keyword system is going to change. To me, it's just tag and stats. It doesn't, again, I think what Guardian need to understand is that you are trading off one system to another system, whereby you are swapping problem here and there anyway. I mean, you may not have a power right now. Most power today may be tagged to physical energy, unless you are Thor, of course, some power do both and stuff like that. But you go to another keyword, you have another keyword tagging system anyway. So there's really no big deal. Whatever they're thinking of why to do away with mental physical energy is just trading one problem with another set of problem or constraint. Actually, every design will have their own constraint. So anyway, that's enough. Legendary item will be upgraded to support the new keyword. So I do not know what the new one is going to be like, because like a lot of things are using access and stuff like that. I really hope that I really hope that they can do a full legendary refund for grade 80 this time, because what if the axe that is used by my Electra, which is boosting physical power, is no longer useful because because the tag is no longer physical, something else. I mean, same as like the Bugle terminal as well. I think the legendary that we got today is a movement one, but then I think after the patch it will be something else. So it just, yeah, I mean, again, why play now? I don't know. So that is something to watch out for. What they change in the legendary, they are still not having a definite plan, like what can we do right now to help mitigate some of this like uncertainty, right? So that's back to my comment earlier on. So this should have an official post on that one. Insignia will be converted using the new keyword system, so I think that is also quite nice. But then again, it would mean that you have to unbind or move all the insignia around, because today, I mean, I've done it during the biggest update ever, and after the biggest update ever, I've moved quite a lot of my gear around, and looks like I have to do it again after this Omega patch. So it's something that I'm not that kind of pleased, because there's not much transparency on what is going to happen. Will I be moving a lot of insignia around? I don't know. Maybe I will. So we shall see to that. Relic system has been reworked as well. So now the relics will be right now is 1,000. You can go up to 1,000. I think what happened in the future will be the 100 is the max. And after that, you can keep them or trade them for a shot in something called the complete relics. Now I don't know what complete relics is. I mean, we can only speculate, but whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, because all your relics right now, they will just deem as like a currency, become a time lost relics. You have to use the currency to basically exchange for either a complete relics or a box of relics, whatever it is. I have no idea. I think things like this are a lot of concern. I don't even know what is best to do anymore in this game with regard to relics. So we shall see to that. Crafting system, a lot of changes, of course. I mean, you can imagine. And also upgrade recipe for eye level 66 and 69 is no longer, retired. It's been retired. So to me, it doesn't really make a big deal. It's just that the progress of getting a crafting recipe is part of the game in terms of end game, because in order to get the recipe, you need to do a little bit of raiding, you need to collect some kind of like reputation and so on. So they do away with that. So it seems to me that it's even lesser depth to the whole kind of like a gameplay anyway, progression anyway. So we'll see, again, uncertainty, what to replace with eye level 66 69 or ever no, I shouldn't say yeah. Anyway, so another thing is that there's no more +1 to attribute in your slot 1 to 5. So I don't know what it means. I mean, I think if you have it right now, you still gotta keep those attributes, but they do not want you to add those into it anymore. So again, it's just one of those things, because I think they found that it's too many complexity in the game. Maybe they want to streamline things, making it a little bit easier. Maybe that doesn't, it doesn't have it in console, so make sure that the PC also doesn't have it anymore. So I do not know. Rune words is the biggest news. It will not be there anymore. It will be retired. So it would be replaced with something called a modification. Go to slot 3. So it's kind of very strange kind of thing, the whole rune work and thing. And also enchant, also there's some change in the whole enchant. I do not have the exact detail. I mean, I wish there's an official post on the information there. But what it really means is that the runes and no longer drops and whatnot. In some sense, it's kind of good, because it's not that it dropped much anyway, and what do we do with all these runes? But on the other hand, they could have just improved the system rather than just scrap it like they do with the Omega system and so on. Why? Because I mean, from my perspective, I think rune words should be something that you unlock for. Like once you get the very strong rune words, you can unlock for your account or character account maybe, and then after that you use the runes to further augment it to make it more and more powerful. I mean, that would be like a D2 kind of like setup, I think. So they didn't want to do something like that. So I mean, even so, yeah. I mean, I'm more thinking of like the Diablo 3 as well, because you could actually, like the gems, right? After a while, the gems are useless, but then you could actually use them to craft certain things to make it more powerful. So that could have been done. The same with the rune words as well, or runes as well in general. So anyway, new crafting recipe to be added that will allow you to destroy 1 Omega items, extract its Omega affixes, and apply to the current one you have. I think that's nice, because it's very random kind of thing. You try to get. I mean, there's 35 sets of items, although most heroes will not have 35 sets, except perhaps Rook, I presume. So that is something that I would say, I mean, it's nice. I mean, and also the Omega items are not soul bound, so you could transfer it from other places. So again, I mean, that's kind of nice. You could actually gear up for 2 heroes sharing the same kind of like affixes, at the same time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Legendary Unbind, for the time being, we still stay there. I do not know what it means. Does it mean that in future to come that you cannot unbind the legendary? It's kind of sad. The game changes so much anyway. So can we convert back to Odemark? Will Odemark still be there? I don't know. There's still a lot of questions. Then there are new raiding items to be found in the raid, the Muspelheim raid, such as set bonus can only be found there. Some other new item to be discovered. So I think they also want to move people into like a mandatory raiding. If you want to get the kind of gear, I hope they still have the old kind of like mindset whereby you don't have to do raid in order to get all the items that you want. You just get a little bit slower. I mean, I do raid. I'm fine with that, but I know that some people don't like the fact that you have to group together, and then after that you're being blamed for things that you do, or people inspect your gear and kick you out and stuff like that. It could be really, really drama, a lot of drama there. So I understand not everybody likes that. Euroforge to be retire, so that go along with the rune words and the unique. Okay, so this is big news. All the unique you have here, they will not update it. They will not update it at all, basically. So anything, if your unique currently have things like physical power or energy or mental, like this one here, then you no longer be like, the affixes will not be useful. Now, I do not know whether it is you know, how bad it would be. Would I still be able to pass the Omega gear, Omega trial? You know, even though I've got all this unique gear of reasonable kind of like affixes to it. So that will remain to be seen. What the impact is like. I try to farm cosmic gear, but I found that, you know, cosmic gear, even if you discount all the unique gear, kind of like a physical, mental, or whatever damage type, it's still not that much better than the existing unique gear. I think perhaps you have to wait until Omega patch to have the new set of cosmic gear to farm and so on. All right. New gift box to be handed out in the Omega patch, which is fine. That is to help you with all these uniquely qualified kind of title. For some of you who like to collect title, you know, and you're just missing the kind of feel unique, it'll be there. I do not know what is in there. I've already got all the titles, so you know, I wish you all the best luck in getting your title. The costume for the Age of Apocalypse, I think this is also Age of Apocalypse, by the way. I've crafted this one a long time ago. Hulk is beautiful. That one, the event will be up together with the Omega patch, and also Thor Ragnarok kind of inspired costume will also be there. So just costume, all right. PvP mode be gone. I think there's just not many people play PvP. I have yet to try. I've tried to queue up for it though, by the way, because I've got friends in the past who are very passionate about PvP, and I queue up for half an hour or 1 hour. I couldn't get anything, so in the end we didn't do anything. So any PvP related achievement will be gone as well. So well, there you go. Anything to do with the unique gear for the achievement will be moved to the feed. Now what it really means is that if you don't get it, you don't get it after a patch, and that will be it. And but in any case, I read that all this feed kind of achievement doesn't count towards your achievement points, so it doesn't really matter that much whether you have it or not. For those who are into achievement, I'm not. All right. There are other things like the like End of the World Trend Code, Gambit, Thanos, Imperative, Star-Lord, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of costume. There are few costumes that are rewarded when you completed your achievement. Those are here to stay. Team up will be here to stay. Well, that's not really a lot of surprises. Prestige color will stay. Well, I mean, prestige, whatever. Then the stash and other UI in PC world will also stay, except the costume closet that we talked about earlier on. And also in the future, because I think the cube shard will be gone, so I'm doing my best to try to get as much boost. I think if you go back to the beginning of the video, I've collected a lot of boost because I log in and try to buy some boost. I think every day you can get 8 of them or whatever. I want to spend as many shards as possible before the patch because I think there's something changed with that as well. Again, those are things that should be transparent about what is going to happen. Then blah blah blah, the higher drop rates on things like Omega Gear Artifact and Cosmic Artifact, whatever it is. But I mean, you know, that remain to be seen. So with that said, I mean, again, a big thank to the community back in the forum. A lot of good info there. Do check it out if you really want to know more about it. So going back to the topic here, I think one of my friends I mentioned before, Aliman Haas, I think in the game, you know, want to ask what's been changed. Well, I mean, the biggest update ever has revamped the heroes to have the trait and talent, but that's about it really. That we don't really have the gear support for all these things yet. The Omega, the biggest update ever was in January, so the Omega patch maybe in end of the year, we shall see. And after that, you know, I think they mentioned something like January 2018. I'm not optimistic that the Omega Prestige will be in. They are reworking on the Omega Prestige. Now, what is Omega Prestige? Is after you've done 6 times of leveling of the same character to Cosmic Prestige, which is a yellow one, you can earn yourself a right to level that another 70 times with the penalty there. So if leveling is really your cup of tea and make your heroes more powerful, but I think they have realized that they overtuned the whole thing because I knew it already, right? But I think they are just trying to make a quick buck on that because Omega Prestige was marketed as one of the most pay for power kind of like items, and for paying like $15 in the in the console world, you skip a lot of leveling to get into the Omega Prestige straight away. So I think they make a lot of money out from there, and then realizing that, well, you know, people are just not that happy with that in any case. So they'll try to make it less mandatory. They want to make it more optional, but that's about it. So I think to sum up what to play now till the patch, I would say if you are into costume crafting, then you just prestige a lot of your items. There aren't really a lot of point farming anything right now. I mean, even if I farm things, I don't really see a lot of good stuff going on. It doesn't really excite me playing into this game right now. The Omega patch, I think personally I'll wait until the all the patch is out. I'll wait until all the you know, bugs. I'm sure there'll be a lot of bugs be ironed out. I'll wait until they have some new content, as well as the Omega Prestige to be out, so that I can start to collect Omega Essence. There's no point trying to farm all these things and then have to refarm it again. I mean, imagine, you know, people have been farming for Infinity Point. After that, they have to come back in and refarm all the gear, and after that, you know, refarm all the essence again to progress. There's a lot of farming. I mean, my time is always limited resource, so I'll advise you to use it wisely. Now, there are many other things to do, like hiking, traveling, or other games to play as well. So that's all from me today. I hope you kind of like you know, get the info that you want, and I thank you so much for staying on to my channel, even though this game is going nowhere these days. I will be playing. I don't know what I'm going to play these days. I've been thinking about what to do next in my channel and stuff like that. I've been playing a lot of the Nonogram though, by the way. David Bravitt has created a game called Nonogram, which is a very simple game anyway, in one of his jamming kind of session. The game is not original, by the way. Nonogram has been around for, I think, quite some time. There's a mobile game version as well. I've been playing a lot of them. It kind of like keep my mind active. I find it kind of challenging and fun as well. But that would be the story for another day. And if you have any suggestion for me to play, what to play these days, do let me know. Yeah, seems to me there's a lot of options these days, but no, you know, what is that? Player, whatever, unknown player, whatever it is. No, I don't want to play that. Okay, see you next time. Goodbye.